Yeah, there it is, it cut out of there. So this piece here, the piece that I made, will sort of slide right in there. Sort of, kind of. Now I go about constructing the top of it and figuring out how that all comes together, and then after that it's, whoops, then I'll just butt weld it in there. See how it goes. Oh. Yeah, here you are. So I cut out this bit from up here. Used to be there. Have to save that thing that holds the trunk lid up because I got a 2x4 of it now. Anyhow, this piece came out, and you see these kind of hoopy things on it here. So I made a new piece to fit in, and then I put the hoopy things in there with my hoopy thing maker. And they only go up to about this high. And then I put a couple of welds here and here and here, tacked it on. Now I'm going to take the zip cutter and I'll cut along here and get a nice straight line, cut down here and get a nice straight line along there. And that'll make it work for that. Then I have to start over here. I've got this lip put on already to match up to this lip here. So then I have to make this bendy thing. See how it's bent there? There, put it that way. So it's bent, so I have to make the bendy thing to go across, and then I'll build up that bit there. It'll sort of bend over and then back again. We'll just see how things work out, and then I start filling in the little bits that are missing. Yeah, there it is. So I stuck that piece on there that holds the roof support on. That you can see that hole on the other side there. Not the 2x4, but that pneumatic pole that has a spring in it that loads up and holds the roof up. One end hooks there and the other end hooks on this thing here. But it goes, still a bit hot. It goes in like this, so you can't see it from the other side. Then I'll start, that's going to fit pretty nice in there. I'll make a little piece to fit in here, and then get the level right on that, just with a little bit of a judicious hammer work. And it should be good. Now, I don't know if that's luck or good planning, but it seems the gap underneath there is good. I can just, anywhere where it's a little bit low, I'll just pull it up with a pair of pliers and make it fit to the top. I'll put a top plate right across that. There you go, nothing to it. Yeah, there I put the strut back on there. Fits in there, fits in there. Might have to do a little bit of grinding off on that one right there. Excuse me, a little bit of grinding just to make that come down to the right height. But otherwise it seems to be pretty good. And the thing opens and closes and holds it up. 2x4 gone. Yeah, so there it is, all in there now. Welded up together. Looks not bad. I won't get it too awful pretty because it's going to be covered by everything. Now along the top here, there's a top plate to go on top of this. First I'll put the tunnel in, and then first I'll put this side piece in. Then I'll put the tunnel in, and then the top plate on. See how that works out. Anyway, carry on. There you go, got the next bit done. This thing here, which is where the fender kind of rests on that. It's got a piece of rubber that goes over the edge here, and I'll fill in all these little gaps here before long. And then it's got to have a hole right about there that the air goes through to go up through that tunnel. So the next bit is this little tunnel here. and then I'll put the cap on it, and then we're done with that. There you go. Yeah, so here's the piece of metal for the tunnel. It just sort of will fit in there pretty close, and then I have to go and just make the bends in it so that it fits around that instead of being square. So I just do that on the vise. I just go over to the vise, and there's a piece of metal in there now, but I'll take that out. See, all I do is sort of put it in so it's kind of snug. Where is it? There we are. Put it in kind of snug so you can move it still. Well, maybe move it. I'll loosen it a little tiny bit. About there. And then just start bending on it by hand. And it works pretty good to get it bent right around. Anyhow, I'll do it up and show it to you after. Yeah, they're halfway there. Now, I had that piece that went right across to here, but after going to the other side and carefully checking the other side, I'll show you. It goes out it starts small to about there, all the way to there, and then it comes out. I don't know if you can see that from that angle maybe. It gets wider towards this end here like a funnel. So I'll put that funnel bit in on the other side there now and see how that works out. There we go. Got that put together. Took a bit of, like the one piece went along here to there, and then I put another piece in from here to here that was big, and then I made this thing come together right there. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it certainly will do the job. So this side here is all fixed up now, and right down to the hole in the front there. That's, I guess the air goes in there, and then there's some holes that were on the bottom here that I make sure that it's allowed to get out. Water and stuff can't collect in there. Anyway, there you go. We'll carry on. That's mostly everything. I just got to fix a couple of things here, a couple of grind marks, and then have to put a piece of metal from here to here for the fender to sit on. But that's maybe tomorrow. All for now. Yeah, there we go. I got it done. So I fixed up those. I missed one. Little hole right there. Whoops. Little hole right there that I got to fix. I'll fix that. So there were a couple of holes somewhere, maybe right here. They're done. And then I was in here. I did some grinding in here, and found a couple of little shallow spots, so I fixed them. And then down in here, that's the upper coat all done up all the way along. This thing here is done. And ready to go with the fender whenever I get the fender. Well, whenever I want to put the fender on it, which will be a while yet. Oh yeah, and then I filled in the hole at the end here. I just cover that with a cap. So there you have it. That's that chunk of it done. Now, next on the list is maybe fixing up that hole at the back here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a bit of a ripple to the skin there. I'll try and fix that. Yeah, so here I am. I'll likely either make it worse or make it better. You can sort of see that little ripple in there. So I went and I cut myself a piece of metal, but I ran it through the English wheel, so it's got a convex kind of curve to it. Now stick it on there. You can see that up here it's 1/8 inch away from the underneath, so that might force the metal to come out once I stick it on there. So I'll tack it on here and here and here, and then I'll cut it out like I did before and weld it in and see if anything gets better. At the very worst, it'll just get worse. See what happens. Yeah, there we go. I got that thing tacked on there again in the four corners. One here, 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 and here, as you can see. Now, I'll take the grinder and cut along the edge of this and cut along the edge and all the way around it. The cutting wheel grinder. And then we'll see if that will fix my problem up, and I'll be a little bit more careful welding it this time. There you go. I don't know if that's more good management or good luck, but it's come out smooth. A little dent in there, or the warp seems to be gone. Popped right back out again. Just not quite perfect down here, but not bad. I'll take it. I'll take that for a while. So there's the old piece that came out right there. It was welded into the back, and then you see that it's got some sort of backing on it there that is a fire hazard. So, but on the inside I see a hole I can get into there and blow it out, so I'll just leave the door open and be ready to blow out any fires. And then this piece here just sort of sits right back in there again, and I start welding it up. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Got it on there now and started, and it's a little bit warm, so I'll just let it settle down so you can touch it with your hand, and then go and weld a few more. So I welded one here, and I welded one, well, I welded the corners first. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Then I welded one here, 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 and here. Then I keep going here, here, around and around and around until it gets warm, and then I just quit for a while and blow some air on it. So, but it seems to be coming along okay now, and it seems that the warp has gone out of that. That's good. Yeah, there we go. It's slow and steady. So you go along and go dab, 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 dab. Then let it cool off. And let it cool off until it can touch it with your hand. Now if you want it to cool off a bit quicker, you just put it with a bunch of air. That cools it off a little bit quicker, but then go back to the old dab, 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 dab. So you can see that the holes left to fill are up here, and then there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one there, a bunch in here, one there, one there, one there. So I'll get them all filled in, then I'll grind it off and see how it looks. But so far, it hasn't warped. That's good. Yeah, that's kind of the last of the pinholes. I've grinded a bunch, and then I've went around and filled any pinholes that I could find. Seems to be pretty good. A little tiny bit of warp, but not nearly what it was before. It'll be easy to patch up and fix up with a little bit of body fill. Won't be a ½ inch of body fill on it, just a 1/4 inch or less. Yeah, there it is. So I don't want to grind right through to the other side, but it looks pretty good there now. I think that that's a decent repair. Keep on grinding too much and I'll go right through. So here's the one that I took out of there, and the one that the new spot I put in. So there you go. I'm happier with it now. So we'll live with it. That's all for this one. Yeah, there we are. We got this side done. I put this piece in here, and then I added this little bit here to keep the mud and stuff from going that way. There's a plastic bumperette that goes on here, and then the fender goes up on there. So it all should fit together, we hope. This side here is done. A little bit of work to do on the other side. I'll put that piece that goes right here in for this side. And then I forgot all about this. That's only half of it. The other half goes right here. I'll put that on. That'll be that for this side. Then it's some floor work to do, and I'm done welding for a while. Yeah, so what's next, eh? I got the front fenders sort of done. There's this gaping big hole in the bottom of the car where the used to be one of those plugs in there for letting it drain. Would have looked like that from the outside. That one there is okay. The one on the other side is okay. That one here is okay. The one that was here, I've got it covered up because it was not okay. So I cut out a piece, same size as that. And then I've got this thing here for making those, I'll call them a hoopy thing for anything, for a better word. See the little dip in it there, it puts some strength into it. So you put this wheel on. It's got a bunch of different types of wheels, but this one here is for making that size of a hoopy thing. And then you run it back and forth, just like, oops, hard to do this with one hand. You just crank the old handle here and run it back and forth through the machine until it gets that size of hoopy thing on there. Then you just loosen off this bolt here. Let the tension off. And then, voila! You've got a nice sheet of metal with a couple of hoopy things in it. Now that's the top side, it says right there, and that points towards the front. So now I'll go and, or I'm pointing away, I'll go and weld it into its spot there. And it'll sit in there like that. And then the hoopy things sort of line up with the ones that are existing there. One doesn't line up perfectly, but that's okay. We'll fill it in with as it goes along. Get it in there, and that'll be that done, we hope. Anyhow, I'll show you after it's done. Yeah, so there it is, a great big gaping hole that was in the floor pan before. I got it fixed up. So that's good. It used to look like this. It used to have like a cap in there, but now I just covered it over and put a piece of 18 gauge in there. That'll be good for floors. Now the only thing I have left to do now is to fix this stuff up a bit up here. There's some of the, well, mostly it's all right. The old floorboards kind of overlap the new floorboards, so they'll mostly get covered up with whatever you call that stuff, like goopy stuff. But as far as the inside is going, so it's all filled in inside, so, and it's solid on the inside, so I'm not too worried about the outside. I'll just put that rubberized stuff on it. But this side here needs a little bit of, I can see light through there, so I'll fix that up in here somehow or other. Don't know what I'm doing yet. Have to look at it. Yeah, so here's a trick that I learned from Fitzy's Fabrications on the internet there. You see down here where the shadow is coming in and out, that's my hand underneath there, going in and out, covering it up. And there's another little hole right over there. So there's a hole here, where my thumb is, right there where the finger is, and a hole there. Now to fill those holes, they aren't too big, but to fill them, now Fitzy says you take a little piece of, he's got a piece of brass, that's a nice piece of brass, but he said copper works too. So you take a piece of copper pipe, which I've got an old piece of copper pipe that was hanging around, took it to the anvil and flattened it out and put a bit of a bend on it. Then you hold it up underneath the hole. So it's as close as you get to the hole. Then you can fill the hole and it comes out not too badly, which is surprising. I'll show you here in a minute or two. I'll do this up and then show you again. There you go. The hole's all gone there now. Used to be it was right here and right here. There were holes there. Now they're gone. And that was all just this thing here. So the welder steel doesn't stick to copper. So you can put this behind, it gives it a bit of a backing. Yeah, so I used this flat bit for part of it, and then I turned it over and used the back of the curve because the flat bit wasn't quite fitting into the holes. So anyhow, look, worked out pretty good. So that's mission accomplished there. Yeah, there it is, the from the top side, that hole that used to be there. Used to be a hole in the floor there, but it's gone now, and I've got a patch put in. So there, I think there's just a little bit more like cleanup work down below on the floorboards. Then I'm done with the welding. Then I can start doing some mechanical work, which will be interesting. Lots of it to do. So things are going along quite well. I fixed this up yesterday. It was, oops, down here. I fixed this up yesterday. It was bent from a previous something. So I straightened it out, put a little piece of metal in. Then on the other side, all that front end work is done. And everything's done along here. Up goes the roof. I guess I do need a little bit more grinding work in right there. And there's a little bit of weld right there to do. Well, like I say, mostly done. A little bit more welding to do, and then I'll get at the mechanical work and maybe make it a running machine. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, lots of anyways here. It's not even Friday yet. It's only Wednesday, but I think I have to go to work tomorrow. So I might not get any more work on this week. And then I'll open up the big doors on a warm day here and blow out all the dust, because it sure is lots of dust from all that grinding. So there you have it. Another week's worth of work on the old BMW. Yeah, you can always find some more welding to do. So I fixed up that little hole there. And then I spent quite a bit of time underneath the car. Well, it was up higher in the air, cleaning up the floorboard stuff. So I think I'm pretty happy with it now the way it is. And I'm pretty sure I could still find lots more welding to do here and there. But for now, I think we're done welding. So the next trick is going to be getting it up and putting the new suspension bits on, and I got new rear axle for it, stuff like that. But it all turned out pretty nice. You know, it's not perfect, but I'm more into what I call preservation than I am into restoration. I just want to make it into a nice driver so I can use it on the road and feel fairly comfortable in it, that it's going to hold together. And I think I've got that pretty well done. I don't think I need to go any deeper into it for that. This is going to be a real sort of trick getting the front fender onto here. And this is supposed to be some sort of rubber stuff around here so you don't have metal on metal. And then there was there's supposed to be an inner fender here. I think it's made from like plastic or something, but I don't have it. So I'll make one out of metal, and I'll fit that in after to get the fenders on. I'll lift it up and I'll see if I can fit something in there. That just makes a splash guard so the water and stuff is not always coming back on here. Yeah, so the tools were handy, and I learned a few things so far. I guess I got some more to learn because I've never done Bondo work, and I've never done any never done painting, so that'll be interesting. Might be a real show on that, but we'll see.